Okay, then I'm starting it up. See, in the previous slides, what we have done is that we have calculated E1, that is KQ upon BP square, and it is along BP, and E2 was KQ upon AP square along PA. Then what we have done, we have put the values of this AP and BP, and this AP and BP comes out to be root of A square plus A square. And when we have used this value of AP and BP in the equations for E1 and E2, we got E1 as KQ upon A square plus R square and E2 as KQ upon A square plus R square. Now what we need to do, we need to resolve this E1 and E2 into horizontal and vertical components. So this E2 is here. It can be resolved in vertical component over here and horizontal component over here. So resolving it into two parts, it becomes like this. So this is E2 cos theta. This is my E2 in blue line, and along the red line it is E2 cos theta, because along the theta angle there is cos component, and opposite to the theta angle there is a sine component. So this component from P towards O, it becomes E2 sine theta. So it is E2 sine theta, and the other one is E2 cos theta. We know this. Similarly, we need to resolve this E1 into two parts. So this E1 can be resolved into two parts. One is along the vertical component and other one along the horizontal component. So it is along the vertical component, and along this over here it is along the horizontal component. See this thing? I have marked it with green line. So it is the vertical component. So vertical component is opposite to the angle, and that's why this vertical component will be E1 sine theta, and there is a horizontal component over here, that is E1 cos theta. So you can see this thing, it is, these two vectors are being resolved into the horizontal and the vertical components. So along the angle, the component is cos component, and opposite to the angle it is sine component. Again, I'm telling you, this E2 is resolved in E2 cos theta along the theta angle, and opposite to theta it is E2 sine theta. Similarly, this E1 electric field due to the charge present at B, E1, it is resolved in two parts. One is E1 sine theta, and other one is E1 cos theta. So you can see this thing, that we have done the resolution of the vectors over here. And now when we have done the resolution, we know this thing, that magnitude wise this E1 and E2 are equal. So you can see the magnitude of this E1 and E2 is KQ upon A square plus R square and KQ upon R square, A square plus R square. So the vertical components get cancelled out, being opposite in nature. E2 sine theta and E1 sine theta gets cancelled out because E1 is equal to E2. So these two components, one marked with the green vertically upwards and one vertically downwards, they get cancelled out. So the sine components get cancelled out, and the cos components, they are in the same line. See this red line, that is E2 cos theta, and the green line is E1 cos theta. They are along the same direction, and when they are along the same direction, they get added up. All right, and when they get added up, what happens is the resultant electric field is because of the presence of the cos components only. The sine components gets cancelled out. See this thing? One is upward, other one is downward. They are having the same magnitude. It gets cancelled out. So both E1 and E2, they have equal magnitude. So the sine components being opposite in direction get cancelled out, and the cosine components gets added up. The net electric field at point P can be given as, so at point P we are having two electric fields, then both are in same direction. E1 cos theta and E2 cos theta, we just add them up. So it is E1 cos theta plus E2 cos theta. So the net electric field that is at point P, EP, comes out to be E1 cos theta plus E2 cos theta. We know the value of E1, that is KQ upon A square plus R square. We can easily be calculating it up. And from this triangle, we can also calculate this cos theta. Cos theta is base upon hypotenuse. That is A by AP, and AP is root of A square plus R square. So cos, in place of cos theta, I can be writing a upon root of a square plus r square. So this E1 and E2 are same. Why so? Because they are same in magnitude. So when E1 and E2 are then same, so I can be writing it E1 cos theta and E1 cos theta, it becomes 2 E1 cos theta. All right. So this is what I have obtained in the previous slide, that EP, that the electric field at point P, it comes out to be 2 E1 cos theta. E1 comes out to be KQ upon A square plus R square. In place of E1, I can be writing KQ upon A square plus R square. And in place of cos theta, I can be writing this value, A upon root of A square plus R square, base upon hypotenuse. So A upon AP, AP is your root of A square plus R square. Put these values over here. You get something like this. Twice, in place of E1, I have written KQ upon A square plus R square. And in place of cos theta, I have written A upon root of A square plus R square. Now, this comes out to be 2 KQA in denominator A square plus R square to the power 3 by 2. Because it is power half and it is power 1, 1 plus half is 3 by 2. They are having the same values. The coefficients are same. The power gets added up. So it becomes 2 KQA upon A square plus R square to the power 3 by 2. Now, this 2 into Q into A is your electric dipole moment. Q into 2A is what? Electric dipole moment. So in place of Q, 2 and A, I can be writing vector P, and K remains as it is. The net electric field at point P, it comes out to be Kp upon A square plus R square to the power 3 by 2. Again, if this point R is very far away, then this condition gets satisfied, that A square plus R square is approximately equal to R square. Before that, if I need to specify a direction to this EP, what I'll be doing, I'll be using a unit vector, and here the vector is the electric dipole moment. So unit vector is P cap. But now you can see this thing, the direction of this electric dipole moment is always from negative charge to positive charge. But the direction of the resultant electric field at point P, it has come out to be from positive charge towards negative charge. See this thing. So the direction is from P towards this side, away from P towards the left. So that's why this can be written as minus P cap. If it is in this direction, it could be written as P cap. But now it is in opposite to the direction of dipole moment. That's why I have written it as minus P cap. So that's why this minus sign is over here, because the direction of this resultant electric field is opposite to the direction of the electric dipole moment, and the vector that I have used over here, the unit vector, is the vector for the electric dipole moment. That's why I have written it as minus P cap. That is the direction opposite to that of the P cap. So I have written it as the direction of electric field is opposite to the direction of the electric dipole moment P, and it can be written as minus P cap. That's why when I use this vector sign over here as P, I'm using this vector, and it is opposite to the direction of the electric dipole moment. That's why this minus sign comes. So this is the final expression for the electric field at an equatorial point, that is Kp upon A square plus R square to the power 3 by 2. All right. Now, very quickly, if this A is very, very small than this R. So if this A is very, very small than this R, then what happens? The value of this R square plus A square, it becomes R square only. Value of this A square plus R square, it becomes it should be square only. So the value of this A square plus R square, it becomes R square only. Since this is very less, this can be neglected out. And when this value becomes 0, R square to the power 3 by 2, it becomes R cube. You can see R square to the power 3 by 2, it becomes R cube, because this 2 gets cancelled out by this 2. The final expression for the net electric field at an equatorial point, capital P, which is at a distance R from the midpoint of the dipole, can be written as minus Kp upon R cube, minus Kp upon R cube. You can see it. what I have done is that in place of this a square plus r square, when this condition satisfies, I have written r square only, and r square to the power 3 by 2 is r cube. That's why the net electric field at point P, it comes out to be minus Kp upon r cube. The magnitude of this electric field is Kp upon r cube. If you are remembering it, please check your copies. When we have found the electric field at an axial point, it has come out to be 2 Kp upon r cube. Please check your copies. In your notebook, you must have written that when we have found the direction, the magnitude of the electric field at an axial point, it comes out to be 2 Kp upon r cube. And at an equatorial point, we are getting Kp upon r cube. So this condition satisfies over here that the magnitude wise electric field at an axial point is equal to twice the electric field at an equatorial point. Magnitude wise only. The direction wise it may be different, but magnitude wise the electric field at an axial point was what? 2 Kp upon r cube, and at an equatorial point it is Kp upon r cube. So when I multiply it by 2, I get the magnitude of the electric field at an axial point. I do hope it is clear to you, and this is all about the today's class. Thank you very much for joining me. And I'm seeing over here that someone has raised the hand, so I'll be just unmuting him up and then asking him that what is the doubt that he's having. Okay, someone has raised the hand. Who has raised the hand? It is, who is this? Yes, please go ahead. What do you want to ask? Yes, again, come again. The voice is not clear. You can please write it.
Yes sir.
Yes
सर मैं थोड़ा लेट आया था, तो e cos थीटा क्यों लिया, e sin थीटा क्यों नहीं लिया, तो ये शुरुआत का थोड़ा बता दो फर्स्ट स्लाइड में.
Yeah, surely I'll be telling you. Any other problem? One other raised hand was there, so I'm just meeting it. I'll be just telling you that why we have taken that. Fine. Again, one more raised hand I can see, and that was of Anuj, I think. Yes, Anuj, go ahead. What do you want to ask?
सर वो पीछे वाली स्लाइड निकलवा रहा था, वो थोड़ा बच रह गया था मेरा.
Yes, I'm going towards that slide only.
Okay, sir.
This one you want? No, maybe.
Yes, sir. वो 2 kp.
Okay, you want the next one. This one you want?
हाँ, yes, this, sir.
Okay, fine, right.
Thanks, sir.
So one question is being asked by Shriyanshu, I think. He has renamed him as Gabbar over here. So Shriyanshu, just listen that when we resolve this E2 into vertical and horizontal components, so E2 can be resolved into two parts. One is along this theta, that is E2 cos theta, and one is opposite to the theta, that is E2 sin theta. And when I resolve this E1 into two components, vertical and horizontal components, then it can be resolved into along the theta it is E1 cos theta, and opposite to theta it is E1 sin theta. All right. Since this E1 sin theta and E2 sin theta, they are opposite in direction, and the magnitude of E1 and E2 are same, that's why they get cancelled out. All right, say 5 Newton per coulomb in the vertical direction upward and 5 Newton per coulomb in the downward direction, vertical direction in the downward side, then they both get cancelled out. And since the cos components, they are in the same direction, that's why we are adding them up. That's why the net electric field at point P becomes E1 cos theta plus E2 cos theta. And since E1 is equal to E2, I have replaced this E2 by E1. Magnitude wise, they are same. So that's why it has been, I have written it as 2 E1 cos theta. All right. I do hope it is okay. Again, he is raising it. Okay, let me tell you again. Yes, please ask. Shriyanshu. Please ask your doubt. Your voice is not clear, beta. You can, if you can please write. Yeah, please go ahead.
यस सर, इसी स्लाइड में जो 2A था वो
Yes.
कहाँ गया सर?
What 2A? This 2A. Okay, okay. This one. Beta, this
Yes,
Q
sir.
into 2A, it is a quantity P. This Q into
Yes,
2A
sir. Yes,
is
sir. Yes, sir.
electric dipole moment. Q multiplied by
Yes,
2A
yes,
is
sorry.
electric dipole moment. I have replaced it by P. All right? Is it all right for you, Shreyanshu?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. Anyone else want to ask something? Please raise hand. Your voice is not clear, Shreyanshu. I'm not able to listen you up. Anyone else want to ask something? Please raise hand. Please raise hand if you want to ask something. Otherwise, I'll be just ending this meeting. I'll be sharing this video along with this PDF of the slides. Okay, thank you for joining. And I do hope that the things are very much clear to you. Thank you all. And please be safe at your homes. I do hope that you are following all the precautions for the COVID that are being advised by the ICMR. Please be safe and feel free to mail me any queries. My email ID is given at the end of the slide. Please feel free to mail me any of your queries on these following email IDs. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for joining.